Welcome to the Binge Breakers podcast. I'm Jacqueline. I am here to teach you how I overcame bulimia and my binge eating disorder, and how you can too. Through simple steps of mind management, repairing your relationship with yourself, understanding your habits, and intuitive eating.
Disclaimer: this recording is not intended to be utilized as medical advice or a medical diagnosis. If you think you're in need of medical attention or treatment, please seek it immediately. This recording will also contain sensitive subjects such as binging and purging, weight, and depression. Please listen at your own discretion and do what you think is best for you.
Hey everyone, welcome to the podcast. This is Jacqueline. Today on the podcast, I have a really special clip for you. I've never shared something like this before on the podcast, so I'm so excited. But I am sharing a clip from this week's private group coaching. You're going to get an inside look at what coaching is really like. And not only that, but it's a really valuable moment I had with a group member. We were talking about what it's like in the moment to experience an urge and how to move through it and think about it differently. And so I think it was very valuable, and that's why I'm sharing it. I just thought, and I asked the person who's on the clip, if she was okay with it, and she's like, yeah, I've listened to it several times over again. It was so helpful for me. I really appreciate it. So she gave her blessing to share this as well. We also talk about anxiety and how binging and purging, it feels like it's helping, but it's actually creating the anxiety. So I think you guys will like it, and I'll give you kind of a sample of what coaching is like and hopefully add some value to your day. And of course, if you do find this clip really helpful and you're like, how do I get access to that? Because I really think that this would be helpful for me too. You can go to either the podcast description or just go to my Instagram handle. I have links to my group coaching program there. Or if you get emails from me, you'll probably see some sort of offer at the bottom of that email too. So you can always join in those ways. The group coaching program is a really awesome, affordable way to get one-on-one coaching, but in a group, and then you get to learn from others as well as yourself and everyone in that group. I say it all the time to them, so I'm sure they're like sick of hearing it, but they're just a group of amazingly resilient, intelligent, beautiful, wonderful people, very compassionate. It's just this type of support that I never could have imagined when I first started the group. And I'm so grateful that I did. And the people in there make it so much more valuable, something that I could never offer. So it's incredible to see. So anyway, I'm rambling long enough. If you like this clip, you know where to find me. Just go to bingebreakers.com to find out more info. All right. Bye, everyone.
And part of the reason you keep going back into it too is because the thing that you say, which is it's the only way I can deal with my anxiety. Even though it's part of the thing that's creating the anxiety, it's intensifying it, at least it's making it worse. And it's just so funny that it's a catch-22 where it's like, this solves my anxiety, but it creates anxiety. And which is that it really isn't helping you all that much. And actually, when you get rid of it, it does help you lower that anxiety quite a bit, and you're not worried about that anymore. Also, the anxiety that you're feeling of, I need to get rid of this because of the future of my job. All these nurses, they're smoking, they're using alcohol. So clearly they can do their job without it, but without being perfect, right? The actual motivation that really resonates with you is, I want to feel better. I want to feel the best I've felt in a long time without bulimia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This vicious cycle around, I need to numb out, but the numbing out is making it way worse. So yeah, that really resonated with me right now.
Yeah, numbing out, it's kind of like avoiding paying a bill or something like that, or just putting something on a credit card. You're like, worry about it later, and in the back of your mind, it's still there, right? It's still an issue, and it's gnawing away at you. Also, the other thing about motivation with recovery is sometimes, especially when you start a program, you're gung-ho, you're motivated, it's cool, and if you have that energy, great, run with it. But right now, even though you feel a little bit more motivated now after this call, hopefully, you're still not 100% where it was. Sometimes the motivation doesn't come till after the action, and you're kind of in this place where you're in a fog, and you won't be able to see through the fog of bulimia until you kind of start having a few days without it, and it thins out and it gets better. So your motivation right now could be, I won't be able to feel better until I take some sort of action. Something has to change.
Yeah, like thinking a little bit more long term. I think that's a big issue for me, because I only, in the fog, as you said it, it's like I only want to have this dopamine or this numbing action right now. I like, the only thought I can think of is, I don't want to feel like this right now. And I know logically it's so faulty, because I know that I might feel like I want that in the moment, but like the aftermath is so not worth it, and it keeps me in the cycle, and it doesn't make myself feel less miserable. It's actually making it worse. But in the moment, it's so hard for me to look over this immediate relief.
When in those moments, do you actually say to yourself, I don't want to feel this way right now?
Yeah, I totally say it. And I do really, I try to do the pause method again, but it's really hard right now, because it's so anxiety driven. Okay.
I want you to forget the pause method for a second, just like throw it out of your mind for a little bit. When you have that feeling, I don't want to feel this way right now, I think it would be good for you to I know I've given you this advice before, take a second to tap into that feeling for a minute before you try to get rid of it. It's like that hot potato, right? You try to throw it out as soon as you touch it. If you take a second to feel it, it might actually be as bad as what you're saying. And because the problem right now is that you've got two paths to getting rid of this feeling. One, binging and purging, that temporarily relieves it, and then it comes back. The other path is going through the feeling, going through the tunnel until you get to the other side and it fades away. Both options, the binging and purging, the feeling will go away. Going through the tunnel, going through the feeling, it will go away. But on the other side of going through the feeling is there aren't the negative side effects of the binging and purging. So you have to go through discomfort either way. One of them, though, doesn't lead to more negative outcomes. So if you were to just feel that feeling and not binge, how do you think you would cope?
I think what you just said was actually a really good point, because you said I go through uncomfortableness either way. That really struck with me right now, because it is like that. Even if I don't binge and purge, it's probably not as worse as when I do binge and purge. So that made me realize it really hard right now. So I think I need to write that down.
It's kind of like that. I like sometimes putting Emily Nagoski, I think she talks about feelings as a tunnel, which I think is a good visual. And I like to, with binging and purging, visualize it as there's the tunnel feelings that's binging and purging, and then there's the tunnel feelings that's just feeling the feelings, right? Either one, just uncomfortable, but one is going to eventually lead you out of that discomfort permanently until the feeling comes back, right? But it's not layered with the binging and purging muck and everything like that. So you're going to go through pain either way. And I think coming to that realization is really helpful, especially in those moments.
Yeah, I think I do my I write that down as a post-it note and keep reminding myself of that, because that's really helping, I think.
Good. Yeah. And maybe think of it as one discomfort, though, is actually beneficial. So remind yourself, like, there's pain either way, but one will help you. So it's worth it.
Yeah, right. Like, one isn't perpetuating the cycle again. So yeah.
Right. One has a benefit. Yeah. I think the simple answer to all your problems is we just got to go do it, right? But I think the reason that it's hard for you to go do it is because of the reasons you're trying to motivate yourself with. And your motivation right now is from anxiety of like, I have to do everything, and remind yourself like that's just a thought error. You'll be fine either way. But the real reason you'd like to recover is because you'll feel a lot better, and it will just be, you'll just feel good, you know, simple as it is. And then also in those moments, try to remember both paths are uncomfortable, but you can handle that feeling in the moment and go through the tunnel till it's over.